Ghana's roads are becoming deadlier, not safer. Between January and November 2025, road crashes increased, injuries rose, and most worrying of all, deaths jumped sharply. At the same time, concerns are growing, not just about how we drive, but what we drive. Talk about aging vehicles, rising emissions, as well as health and environmental costs of an expanding transport system. Now, this comes against the backdrop of a major policy shift, a new road traffic amendment promising stricter regulations and safety standards, and the concerns around emissions return. In this edition, I asked the crucial question: how does the new road traffic law respond to both safety and environmental risks? I am Keminni Amanor, and my guest is Director General of the National Road Safety Authority, Abraham Amaliba. This is Hot Issues. You're welcome to Hot Issues, DG.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, but I must apologize to your viewers for coming in a bit late.
Thank you for the apology. Let's make good use of the little time we have left.
Yes.
Let's talk about the new road traffic amendment. We'll start with that because the biggest issue now is around the okada legalization. But even before we get there, I read the document that went to Parliament for consideration, and it says that this new road traffic amendment it's being done for safety purposes. What is different about this one that will keep people safe on our roads?
So the Act 6, the Act itself, which is Act 683, has some deficiencies. And we realized that it was becoming difficult to use that act to deal with some matters. So, for instance, we realized that drunk driving was on the ascendancy. So if you look at the act, it has reduced the level of alcohol that a driver can have from 0.08% to 0.05%, which meets international standards.
Isn't the problem a matter of implementation?
No.
It is about, creating more laws.
These are not more laws. It's just an amendment to what exists. It's not a new...
So, essentially what it has done is to just give a different version of the law that already exists. Now, my question is about implementation. That even at the 0.08, what was the implementation? Did we have the breathalyzers? Were the drivers being checked as far as that was concerned?
We had breathalyzers. I remember there was some donation to the police service from Bloomberg International Initiative, rather. So we had the breathalyzers.
But they were not being used, because I have never heard any drivers say
but
that.
You have heard drivers say that they have been stopped by MTTD and that they have taken their breathalyzers and they say that they don't believe in the way the measurement went.
Which driver said that? I've never heard that.
Oh, you have never heard because you are not in the system.
A long time,
there are speed guns, and speed guns are being used.
Right.
Then there are also breathalyzers. If you say they are not commonly used, I agree with you. But to say they are not used at all is what I am against. But
if they were being used enough, then your comment about drunk driving being on the ascendancy would have been checked.
No.
So the point is that we also have a problem of implementation. So address that for me. How are we going to deal with the issue of implementation of this amended law?
This law is coming at a time when stakeholders, road safety, MTTD, the DVLA, have all committed to ensure its implementation. Don't forget that before this law was put together,
right.
For instance, for the okada implementation, stakeholders had to go to Rwanda to study.
Right.
Now we were in agreement that much of the problem has to do with enforcement. And so this amendment coming at this time is also coming at a time when institutions that are responsible for safety on our roads have committed to ensure that the right things are done. And so in my engagement with the okada drivers, for instance, I have told them that just as how this government has decided to, as it were, legalize their trade, it is important that they also behave well, else another government can also withdraw it. So it is also a responsibility on the okada drivers to ensure that they abide by road regulations. So we are committed to ensure that things are done anew. In the past, and if we talk about the okada, in the past, because they were not regulated, it was free for all. Now, there are regulations, which means that they will no longer be allowed to do what they want to do on the roads. So
how does the regulation ensure that? How does the law that, you know, was recently passed in Parliament ensure that?
So, for instance, if you take speeding, it's one of the areas that causes road accidents so much.
Okay.
And if you look at the law, it talks about the speeding that has led to a lot of crashes. As road safety and together with the MTTD, we are going to ensure, because there are limits for speed on our roads.
Right.
If you're on the motorway, your speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour. If you're on a highway, your speed limit is 90 kilometers per hour. If you are driving within a settlement, your speed limit is 50 kilometers. And if you are within the township and around funerals, where there are funerals and there are gatherings, your speed limit is 30 kilometers per hour. These things will be enforced. These things will be done to the letter, because we are of the belief that without the enforcement, you find the accident rates and death rate increasing. So at our level, as stakeholders, we are committed to ensure that this amendment works. This amendment is actually a progressive one, because apart from giving limits to drunk drivers, this one also talks about the quality of seat belts.
Let's stick with Okada a little bit. We'll get to the other aspects of the law that haven't been spoken about enough. The concern for many people is that, look, we are going to be licensing these people, but there's no clear cut modality to ensure that they are well educated on road traffic regulations, because to deal with the issue of indiscipline, which is why I asked you, how is the law going to regulate their behavior? What's your response to that?
So this is an amendment of the Act. The LI is going to go to Parliament. The LI is where you find the details, the fine details that you're talking about.
What's your plan?
What is in that details has to do with the fact that when you take Okada, they are going to be regulated in unions, in groups. They are no more going to be single riding motorbikes, and they are going to be in unions and groups. What that does is that the first point of road safety education is the group. They have leadership. The group will provide road safety education to them before we even come in. So they are going to be, in their leadership, there's going to be a road safety officer who would have training from us. Secondly, so we will register all the groups. Secondly, what it means is that the union will be responsible for disciplining their membership. And if they fail to do so, we have a duty to withdraw their operations. Apart from that, they are going to be in reflector vests.
Right.
That will indicate each group's identity. So we will know that if you are in this colors, you are either coming from Greater Accra region, or if you are in that colors, you are in Ashanti region. And we are going to also demarcate the jurisdiction. You are not going to be moving from Kasua to Tema, riding a motorbike. We won't allow that kind of distance. These are all meant to ensure safety on our roads.
How confident are you in this that you have just told us?
People do what you inspect,
What does
not
that
what you expect. Now, there is a law that regulates them. So they know that if they misbehave, the law has provided for punishment. Now, there's no law. Now, what happens is that they are not being regulated. The only thing is that their activities are illegal. But have we been able to stop the Okada operations? We have not been able to stop Okada operations in this country because Okada has become popular. Okada is filling a void. You people, when I say you people, you journalists, when you are late for your 6 o'clock in the evening news, you jump on Okada. You patronize them.
I don't know who you're referring to, but let's stick with the matters.
You patronize them. So Okada is filling a void. Traffic congestion has made okada popular. 2, poor road networks has made okada popular. 3, lack of transportation in the hinterlands has made okada popular. So okada is not going away. If okada is not going away, what do? You regulate it. So that's the point.
I see. Again, the question about the minimum requirements, we know that the law has brought the licensing on the use of those motorbikes from 25 to 21. Is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct. But what other minimum requirements will there be for that 21-year-old who wants a commercial license to ride an okada?
What other requirements?
What other requirements would you seek from that person to give that person that commercial license?
Oh, you have to first, you first have to belong to a union, so you can't be on your own. Okay. 2, your union must register with the Road Safety Authority.
Okay.
And 3, you must have a license, a commercial license
just these
to operate. Now, there is a requirement to provide them with road safety education.
Okay.
Then also, DVLA will provide them with examination for them, training, before they are given the license. So, because they are in unions, it's easy to do all these things with them. And they can now be allowed. There's also going to be a special number placed for them so that you know that this is different from a private person who is riding his motorbike. So all these things are there.
Are we sacrificing safety for fulfilling a campaign promise?
I have told you what is making the regularization possible.
And I have heard you. I'm only telling you that it doesn't seem we have a foolproof plan to implement this.
I have given you plans. You are not listening. Are these not plans? What I'm saying.
They are plans. They are not foolproof. That's what I have said.
The helmet they are also wearing.
Right.
It's not going to be any helmet. There are standardized helmets. Because some of the helmets are even more dangerous than if they don't wear them. Okay. Because some of the helmets are poor quality standards. And so when they hit the ground, the helmet even chokes them and kills them. So there's a standard that we are providing for the helmets. So if you don't say that there are no foolproof plans, how did you come to the conclusion there's no foolproof plan?
I mean, it's based on what you're telling me, but let's take with the issue at hand, right? When the president assents the bill and it becomes law, how soon will it be operationalized?
No. Once the president assents to the bill, it becomes law.
Oh, yes.
And then,
in operationalizing it, how soon will
by then, we would have expected that Parliament will sit and have 21 days for the LI to also pass. Then full implementation will start.
Okay.
Yes.
So then it wouldn't take long for the law to be implemented.
Once it's assented to, the law comes into being.
Let's talk about the helmets, the seat belts, and the new requirements for those. It would appear that the law is asking that even before you sell those things, you should have had approval from the stakeholder organizations or the regulatory authority. Explain that to us.
To sell what?
To sell even the helmets. The seat belts. Yes.
So that falls within our mandate, the Road Safety Authority. Equipment sellers or importers of equipments relating to vehicles must register with the Road Safety Authority. And the Road Safety Authority, together with Standards Authority, would determine whether the equipment you are bringing in meets the standards. So, if you are reading the law, that says that they will have to be given permission or license by the regulators. This is the explanation. You will first have to register with the Road Safety Authority. Road Safety Authority, together with the Standard Authority, would then now permit you. We have also, in all this, customs are also part of it because they will be monitoring our borders so that you don't bring in fake helmets to, as it were, adulterate what the standards want. And so we are sure that if we go by this and have all equipment sellers, have all persons who deal with vehicle equipments and accessories. We register all of them together with the okada and helmets. That is the first way to ensure that the equipment that are going to be bought by these okada riders are foolproof, by using your word, and that they are good and qualitative products for them to use.
Do we already have the indicators for what could be, the preferred standard of helmets and seat belts for the Ghanaian people?
Yes, so that falls within the remit of Standard Authority.
Okay.
They will come out with the guidelines, but I know that it is going to be the European EU standards for the helmets. There's an EU standards for helmets, and it's going to be in that. And we are also going to have testing laboratories. We are trying to, the Standard Authority is trying to put up a testing lab, so that when these equipment come, they will first be tested before. But we will still have to test them before they come in. So some laboratories are outside this country will use that before they come in.
I see. So then what are we going to do about helmets and seat belts already in the system?
So it means that the police will now, and the MTTD will now have to enforce the law. And if you are stopped, because in the helmet, you can find the prescription. There's a part where you can find, it's written there, the number, so the standard can be seen. So when the police arrest you, and part of the inspection, they take off your helmet and see that you are not wearing the right one, that you have breached the law.
This law is also making the same requirements for seat belts, but more importantly, it is making changes as to who can sit in the front of a car or at the back of a car. Take us through that.
Act 683 provided that a child below the age of 5 is not allowed to sit in front, the front seat. But this law is raising the standards a bit higher, and is saying that at a child below the age of 12 years is not allowed to sit on the front seat. So it is just increasing the age limit from 5 to 12. And so it's now going to be an offense for any driver who decides to put a child in the front seat, and that child is below 12 years. It used to be below 5 years, now 12 years. So the amendment is enhancing the safety protocols. That's what it's doing.
I see. And then it also does the same for parents who may be carrying younger children and would have to strap them in the back. The Standards Authority will now have to determine whether or not the equipment you're using for safety is good enough. How will that work?
No, for that one, we have what is called child restraints equipment. Child restraint is for children. It is not your normal seat belt for adults.
That's
so you would have to provide a child restraint belt. And so it is a requirement imposed on vehicle owners who have children to put in their vehicles what we call child restraint belts that can be used for the child. And so with that one, you as the driver or the adult person who is in control of the car, you are supposed to provide that equipment if you are carrying a child.
That equipment needs to meet the standards that are set by you and your other stakeholders.
Yes.
What are those standards? Do we know them already?
And I'm saying that those standards will be brought out during the LI, and then the Standards Authority will publish those standards.
Publish it for every parent.
But because the Okada one, I know it, because of the helmet, I know it's going to be the EU standard.
I see. Very well. Let's move on to other aspects of this law, because there are a host of other issues that this law is tackling as far as our road usage is concerned. let's look at emissions. Your government scrapped the emissions levy, but I see that this act is very concerned also about emissions.
Level of emissions.
It's the same thing, whether it is level or it's emissions.
Emissions are allowed, but the level.
Emissions are allowed.
Yeah,
okay, I see. To what extent?
So that is what I'm talking about. That you can't say a car shouldn't have exhaust pipe.
Yes.
But what amount of exhaust coming out is allowed.
Okay.
So that is what the LI, together with the regulations, will deal with. This is just an act. The LI and the regulations will spell those ones out.
I see. I just wanted to open quickly to what it really says about the conditions. And it says that the motor vehicle emission levels do not, again, maybe I should start from the top. The principal enactment is amended by substitution of section 92, the test of condition of motor vehicles. A vehicle used on road shall be submitted for examination in accordance with this act or the regulations. The examination shall be conducted every 6 months in respect of commercial vehicles and once every year in respect of private vehicles, all within the period determined by the licensing authority. Then you come down to subsection C, which says the motor vehicle emissions levels do not exceed the national standards specified for motor vehicle emissions. Upon examination of a motor vehicle under subsection 1, the owner of the motor vehicle shall pay the prescribed fee. Now, my question is that we don't have the standards as of now. Is that
they have been prepared.
What you are saying that the LI is going to do? Okay. Now, your government scrapped the emissions levy, which would have dealt with you bring an old car, you pay for it, and some would have said it will have disincentivized people bringing in cars that will emit toxins into our atmosphere. But here you are in your new law wanting to check it again. What is this topsy-turvy
but
outcome?
It's not topsy-turvy. Why? As you use your car, the car becomes old, and emissions may go higher, and that's why you find that it is asking that they go to check it every 6 months. Isn't it? So it is a way of constantly checking, ensuring that these vehicles are within the standard. Then
the question will be, then what? If I bring my car and
there are penalties.
So you penalize
people. There are penalties,
okay, you penalize people who bring in their cars that are, do not meet the emissions levels.
You are talking about when people go to check, and there are standards within which you must remain in. If it is above, then you'll be asked to pay.
What I want you to slow down and explain to me is, for somebody who would not understand why the levy was scrapped and then replaced with penalties for when you send your car in for inspections, how would you differentiate the two scenarios to anyone?
Said that it was you who said that when cars are coming in, they have scrapped old cars coming in, isn't it? You just said that.
I refer to the emissions levy, yes.
Yeah, you just said that. And I'm saying that what we are dealing with in this law is cars that are already in the system that are running and are required to go every 6 months to go and check their emission levels. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. It seems maybe the issue of saying bringing in the emissions levy, everybody was going to pay emissions levy. Is that correct?
I don't know what you are talking about, but I'm talking about this one.
Okay.
I don't know what you were talking about.
Would agree to disagree?
I'm talking about this one.
No, would agree to disagree.
This one that I know, but the one you are talking about,
you don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, all right.
Maybe by then, because I wasn't in the sector, I wasn't so much following what was happening.
Oh, sir.
No, sir, yes, sir. Why? I say because I wasn't in the sector, I didn't know. Maybe that's why I didn't know why you are talking about. But I'm saying that now it's this one that we are talking about.
Okay. What are the penalties?
Penalties for
bringing in a car for inspection and then it does not meet the emissions level.
I'm not talking about bringing in from outside Ghana.
No, when I say bringing in, when you go and inspect your car, you are sending in your car.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I'm referring to.
Yes. Penalties are already in the Act 683.
Okay.
What has been changed is the level of penalty, the level of emission that is allowed. That is what has been changed, to reduce it to a lower level. But the penalty still remains the same, and the penalties can still be found in the Act 683. I've not checked that aspect of it, but Act 683 still has the penalties of what you have to pay. But this time around, they have lowered the amount of emission.
Okay.
And so the threshold is low. And so more people are likely, if they don't check their emission level, more people are likely to fall into it.
I see. And they will be penalized. Okay. Now, this amended law also looks to expand the definition for commercial vehicle. And obviously, we've talked about Okada. But also curiously here is the issue of ride-hailing vehicles. We are talking about those who use their mobile phones to request transportation services. Why was this necessary for the stakeholders who put this together? Because
they are a new area of transportation. Under the old law, Uber ride-hailing was not predominant. But now you are aware that even these ride-hailing companies are even overtaking or are taking over the taxi business. So they are a new area of transportation that needs to be regulated. And so you need to bring them in and regulate them. For instance, already there is a regulation which says that if they pick a passenger, they would have to, 1 cedi of that their charge would have to be given to DVLA, because it's DVLA that does the proving or the authentication of their drivers for them. And because DVLA is providing them with those services, 1 cedi of their charge will go to DVLA. If the Uber and the other ride-hailing companies want to authenticate the validity of a license or the driver, they have to go to DVLA before they can hook that person onto their platform.
I see.
And so DVLA is already doing some work in that direction.
Oh, and clarify for me, will this have any impact on their licensing regime, so to speak?
We are moving towards where we'll begin to deduct points from drivers. I don't know whether that's your question. Drivers who breach road traffic regulations, to the point that if you accumulate a number of points, then your license will be withdrawn. I don't know whether that is the question you're asking, but once you are qualified and you go through the process of test driving, you are qualified to have your license.
Yeah, the clarity for me was whether or not, because they are now a commercial vehicle known by the law, their licenses are also commercial, or
yes. So they are going to, they are engaged in commercial activities.
True.
So like the GPL2U, like the trotro drivers, they are also now in that category. So it will be commercial driver's license.
Commercial driver's license. Away from the law, we spent quite a chunk of a very little time on the law. I want us to look at road crashes. It's one of the things that the road safety is very passionate about, which is why we are even working at amending the law. But we see that for the year under review, 2025, January to November, which is the document that the road safety has published, everything has increased. Our crashes have gone up. The number of vehicles have gone up. The persons killed have gone up. Persons killed has gone up by close to 20%, even though the number of incidents itself is under 10%. How do we explain that? Are we having deadlier accidents on our roads?
The research has it that anytime road safety embarks on road safety campaigns, that is through radio, the television, going to the mosque, going to the churches, if we embark on those campaigns, the death rate reduces, crashes also reduce.
And what has changed?
Unfortunately, this year we've not been able to do that because of funding. You know that much of our funding comes from the road fund. Now it's called Road Maintenance Trust Fund. The change where we needed to pass a law also had an impact because we needed to pass a law, and then that took some time. Then also we needed to come out with what do they call it? The various amount. How much will go to road safety? How much will go to, and so Parliament had to do those things, and then also the appointment process, because it's a new government. The appointment process to take over and then ensure all those things. I'm happy to announce to you that all these things have been settled now. All these things have been settled now. I have been assured by the chairman of the fund, Isaac Mensa, that early next year they will release funding to us and we'll begin our work. And I can assure you, these figures would reduce by January. Getting into next year Easter, you will not have this sense. But it is all because of the fact that much campaigns were not done this year. That's why the figures are...
All this while, January to November, no campaigns at all?
I have just told you.
At all?
I've just told you, yes. And so the challenges have been surmounted, and next year things will get better. You not have these figures.
Who is holding back your money from the road fund?
I've told you that there was the need to change it from road fund to road maintenance trust fund, and that was a law.
It's just a title. Did they have to stop you from getting your money?
It's a law, and you cannot start spending without law backing it. You know what?
The law does not stop because we are amending it in Parliament. The implementation of any law does not stop because we are amending it in Parliament. The implementation of our 683 did not stop because you are amending it in Parliament.
And then also, maybe I didn't add that.
Okay.
The road fund was also collateralized. And so the amount of money that was going in there was being taken to pay the loans that were taken.
For what?
That was what the federal administration did.
I see.
What projects? Was difficult.
Are you aware of the projects? I don't know the loans were?
But you are aware that it was collateralized. Road fund was collateralized. So, and coupled with the capping, and this government has freed all the capping. So we are now going to get the full chunk of our money. That for me is exciting, because even if we were still in the old law, the amount of money that would have come would be reduced. So, look.
It's a complicated matter.
And we are at the tail end. And I'm saying that the road fund chair, board chair, has informed me that next year, very early next year, the fund will be released to us. We are supposed to get 2.5% of that fund to do our work, and next year it will be. But
is that the only way the authority is funded, the road fund?
The authority is funded by the road fund. We are now trying to introduce road safety fees, because our roads must be safe, and so we are trying to introduce road safety fees, and I've gone very far with that.
Okay.
I've dealt with the Ministry of Finance. They've given approval. Bank of Ghana is supposed to open an account for us. Controller Accountant General was also part of it. So this will also come to augment. We have something little that comes from NIC, that's the National Insurance Commission. And
GOG?
GOG is your road fund. Is there anything from GOG? GOG pays...
It's only road fund.
GOG only pays salaries. If okay, take road fund away. So GOG pays salaries of workers. But the work... And
doesn't leave you any for administrative things like doing your actual work?
It comes from the road fund.
All of that
comes from the road fund. So
I see.
95% of our releases or our budget come from the road fund. So if the road fund fails, in the past, we used to have donor funding from UNDP. It's no more. Donor funding has dried up. We don't have that again. Bloomberg used to help us. They have even withdrawn. They 10 years in Ghana, they have gone back now. So we are devising new ways. So one of it is road safety fees. Another of it.
I know what it is for, but how are you going to charge that, the road safety fee?
Oh, we've done stakeholder engagements with everybody who is involved. We've done stakeholder engagement, and that will be done at the DVLA. So when you go there to now do your road, what's the name of that thing? Your roadworthy, or you go there to do your license, and you go there to do your emissions. That is at the point that you pay those things. Yeah. I
see. How much are you looking at to charge the Ghanaian people?
Have not,
it hasn't been determined yet?
Not yet. I think the two institutions will determine that.
I see. Now, I do want us to look ahead because...
you look at what?
We look ahead into 2026 and what...
we should look ahead.
No, we look ahead into 2026 and what the future holds for road safety in this country. We've seen the numbers. You've explained to us why some of the campaigns have not happened, but it could also be an indication that the campaigns of the past only have temporary effect.
So when you say temporary effect, it means that we need to have this education continuously. What I've noticed going there is that we target the campaigns during festive occasions. So we have New Year campaign, we have Christmas campaign, and we have Easter campaign. I think we need to move beyond that and do it on a continuous basis. Road safety is a collective responsibility. I hear people say it's a shared responsibility. It's the same thing if I say it's a collective responsibility. We all have to be involved. And that's why when you are sending your child across the street, you say, be careful. That's road safety. When you are in school, you are taught, look left when crossing the road, look right, and look left again. That's road safety. When a child is crossing the road and you are an adult, you help the child to cross. That's road safety. So it's a collective responsibility. But we need to have a sustained campaign, and probably that will reduce the figures further. But the research has shown clearly that anytime we embark on a campaign, the death rate reduces.
I see.
Also, I think that one other thing has to do with we don't value road safety. We don't value road transport crashes as compared to how we value air transport crashes.
Why do you say that?
Yes. And yet, road transport crashes take more lives than air transport crashes. Look, we have exceeded 2,000. We are around 2,500 as at November. Do you know the number of jumbo jets that should have fallen from the sky for us to get that number? The minimum is 5. You need 5 aeroplanes to fall from the sky to get that number. So if road transport crashes is taking our life, we need to invest.
I just want to take
that area.
I want to take one quick question before we wind down, right? Someone is asking how the authority will deal with foreigners that dominate the okada business. Is that a source of concern to the authority?
It came up on Friday when I was at a program, but I think that the immigration provides for some of these things. If you have a work permit, I cannot stop you. So, in collaboration with immigration services, I think that we need to now begin to inspect. If it is a problem, we need to inspect whether those foreigners have work permits. But from my side, I cannot be stopping people because it's not under my remit.
Very well.
Yes.
We have to go. Thank you so much for your time with us. Abraham Amalba is Director General for the National Road Safety Authority. We hope that we've been able to go through the amended law to...
Christmas message for the drivers. The drivers must be circumspect. The biggest gift, and I've been saying this, the biggest gift a commercial driver can give to his family is to come home safely.
True.
And so the number of passengers you want to go around and pick because it's a festive occasion can wait. The first law of nature is self-preservation.
Very well. Thank you for your company. This is Hot Issues. There will be a playback on all our social media handles. I'm Keminni Amanor. Bye-bye.